here. How about the defense you all play, particularly down the stretch? What'd you like about it most?
Tyler, he locked in on D-Book, which is a tough cover for anybody. He scores as well as anybody in the league. He wanted that matchup. Something about Kentucky and Kentucky. I don't know what it was, but he showed out.
Today we'll be looking at the Devin Booker vs Tyler Herro comparison. Is Tyler Herro the next version of Devin Booker, or is Tyler Herro a completely different player and not even close to Devin Booker? We're going to break that down in this video. If you enjoy these types of videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you are new around here and you enjoy NBA content. If you want to leave a like, that would be amazing as well, and let's see if we can reach 1,000 likes for the next video tomorrow. With that said, let's get into the video. So after the Miami Heat Phoenix Suns game, I think it's the perfect time to actually get into this comparison. Devin Booker finished the game in 35 minutes, dropping 22 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal on 46% field goal shooting. And for this season, he's averaging 25.5 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. As for Tyler Herro, he played 28 minutes, he dropped 15 points, had 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal on 50% shooting, and 75% from 3. In his rookie season, he's averaging 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 2.5 assists per game. Actually quite similar to the numbers that Devin Booker put up in his rookie season. It was pretty fun to watch the two guys battle it out, the Kentucky boys. Devin Booker is obviously an idol for Tyler Herro, which you will find out in this video if you didn't know. Tyler Herro definitely looked up to Devin Booker. They're both very similar players, but we're going to break down the game and their styles in a minute. To me personally, I really think it matters what team drafts what player. For example, with Tyler Herro being on the Miami Heat, as of what we've seen so far, the Miami Heat are looking like a contending team in the Eastern Conference. They are looking like a team that is built around Jimmy Butler. They have guys like Goran Dragic, who was an all-star, and he's an established player coming in as the sixth man. They have a pretty well-established team, and they have guys that really play their roles. Which obviously you can see when watching. It makes it hard for Tyler Herro to get up as many shots as Devin Booker in his rookie season, or other rookies that are in the league right now. Simply because the Miami Heat are actually contending. When you're on a team and you get drafted to a team that isn't contending, such as Ja Morant on the Memphis Grizzlies or RJ Barrett on the New York Knicks, obviously they get a little bit more shots, they get a little bit more freedom, and it doesn't really matter what they do on the court. If they turn the ball over, if they miss a few shots, it's just part of their rookie year, and they're really never going to get subbed out because they need this experience. Whereas a guy like Tyler Herro, if he doesn't perform, he can easily get subbed out of the game, and he doesn't get as many looks, he doesn't get as many opportunities, which is a little bit different from Devin Booker in his rookie season. So that is something that we need to keep in mind before we get into the rest of the video. The two are in completely different situations as their opening year and their rookie season in terms of what teams they're in and how far their teams will go. But other than that, they are pretty similar, and here's why. As unfair as it may be for Tyler Herro, the comparison is there, and that's simply because they are very, very alike. Tyler Herro obviously entering his opening season, rookie year in the NBA for the Miami Heat, and Devin Booker is a 5th year player averaging 26 points per game in his 5th season. Obviously there are similarities between the two players, but how much of the similarities between them actually makes them comparable? After all, Devin Booker is Tyler Herro's favourite player and favourite player growing up. He admitted to moulding his game after him when asked about actually playing up against Devin Booker. Tyler Herro said, and I quote, "He was my favourite player growing up, looking up to him. Playing him for the first time will be crazy, but I'm definitely excited." Herro has long emulated Booker, saying earlier this week, "I think there's nothing that he does that I can't do. That's nothing against his game, I just think I'm capable of doing what he does if I continue to improve, obviously. That's all I watch, is Devin." Now, the fact that Booker only turned 23 last week, so a player that he looks up to is really not that much older than him, as Tyler Herro is 19, is pretty surprising, but it does make a lot of sense when you think about it, and here's why. Number one, they both have a very similar frame. They both have a very similar style of play. They both love to trash talk, and they both went to Kentucky. They were both picked 13th overall, and when Tyler Herro was coming up and thinking about college, he saw Devin Booker drop 70 in an NBA game at just 20 years old. So both Devin Booker and Tyler Herro grew up in the Midwest. They were both voted in the draft amongst their peers, leading all votes as the best shooter in their respective class. They both check in at the same height, and they can both play as a combo guard, either primarily at the shooting guard, but they both have facilitating capabilities, which makes them very unique and similar to each other, compared to just the typical shooting guard who is a spot-up shooter, such as a guy like Klay Thompson or a guy like Kyle Korver. Those guys are amazing shooters. Tyler Herro and Devin Booker show a little bit more. They show that they can facilitate. Obviously, they can all create their own shot, but it's the use of their dribble moves that allows them to get separation, which is what Devin Booker and Tyler Herro are very similar at. Herro said it's very wild regarding the identical nature between the two shooting guards. He tells me to just keep killing, keep trying to score. He said I can be one of the best scorers in the league if I just continue to improve. When Tyler Herro was being recruited by Kentucky in 2017, he would ask the coaches about Devin Booker. Associate head coach Kenny Payne, who coached both Booker and Tyler Herro in college, can recall the moment vividly. One day during the recruiting process, Tyler said to me that he tried to hit Devin on Instagram or something, but he didn't think he had responded, Payne told NBA.com. And from time to time, he would ask me about Devin's past, and you could see he paid real close attention to what I was saying on what made Devin unique. And once he decided to come to Kentucky, it was, I'm a dog, I'm like Devin Booker. Tyler Herro also worked out with Booker's primary offensive trainer, Robbie Hort, before his freshman season at Kentucky, twice a day, 4 days straight. Hort put Herro on the exact same drills that he'd do with Devin Booker, and the resemblance stood out. Tyler's a killer, Hort told NBA.com. They both have the same mentality. They don't care who's in front of them, they're gonna get it done. I knew he was a pro when he worked out. They both take their craft as seriously as you possibly could. They both have that swag on the court. They both talk shit, and you can see why they compare them. Whether it's a fair comparison for Tyler or not, there are similarities. Tyler Herro, after all, may be the guy to advance the Heat to the next stage in their retool. They have Jimmy Butler now, but it's really been their young players in Kendrick Nunn and Tyler Herro who have been the biggest surprises for the Miami Heat. It has allowed them to be very competitive in the Eastern Conference and one of the best teams in the NBA so far. Herro just missed out on making it to the Final Four at Kentucky. Literally this close. One shot away. So this guy has proven that he's a winner already. And a guy that has grown in the matter of just 1 year at Kentucky. And now that he's in the NBA playing for Miami, he seems to be a very, very good player. He can serve as an off-ball scoring option as a shooter like Klay Thompson, or he can facilitate a little bit more like Devin Booker. He has developed into a secondary ball handler, which he did at the Wildcats, but even more so in Miami, and he's seen his assist numbers be very solid. He's also a very solid rebounder as well for a guy of his height, and even though he has a small wingspan, he still plays pretty solid defense, and it hasn't really affected him too much. But I will say this. Booker wasn't expected to be the player that he was when they selected him in the 2015 NBA draft. He was seen as a pure shooter, sort of like a Klay Thompson. So who is to say that Tyler Herro won't develop in a similar way? The way that they're molding him in Miami, it seems that they are trying to build him more into a Devin Booker than a Klay Thompson, simply because he isn't like a spot-up shooter. He's a guy that can do multiple things on the court, and a guy that can definitely create his own shot. I'll leave you with this. A year ago, Zion Williamson, the consensus #1 pick of the 2019 NBA draft, called Tyler Herro the most underrated recruit in his class. At the time, Zion Williamson was heading to Duke, but before he got there, he participated in countless showcase camps with fellow highly sought after players. One of those players was obviously Tyler Herro, and Williamson took notice. He said Tyler Herro is a very smooth and skilled scorer. He is definitely the best shooter in this class and the most underrated recruit.
Tyler is like probably the most underrated player in our class. He's a very smooth and skilled scorer that I feel like he goes unnoticed for sometimes. But yeah, I think with those three though, have a chance to do something very special in Kentucky.
Now, if Zion Williamson said that, you kind of have to believe it. It was a similar way to how Devin Booker entered the class. He was a unanimous vote for the most talented shooter in that draft class, and Tyler Herro has followed him a few years later. Devin Booker showed flashes of his ability as a rookie, averaging 13.8 points per game before jumping to 22.1 points in his second season. He also averaged 2.6 assists per game as a rookie and then 3.4. Every year he's increased to 4.7 and then 6.8 last season. I can definitely see Tyler Herro being in a very similar situation. If you said that Tyler Herro will average 13.8 points, 3.4 assists in this year's rookie season, I would say that that is a very realistic stat line, and that's exactly what Devin Booker averaged in his rookie season. Look, I may be a little bit biased here as I am a Miami Heat fan, but honestly, I'm not trying to be biased at all. I really believe he'll be an underrated pick in this year's NBA draft, and I do think that he'll be a great player in this league, similar to Devin Booker. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about this comparison by hitting that like button and